Hey everybody, this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm your host, Ron Fitch, and I'm gonna give you a midweek roundup of what's going on and what's gonna come up in the NFL and NCAA. First, the NFL. Buffalo got beat by New England. New England is alive and Diggs went off. And Buffalo made a couple of mistakes. New England just kept, you know what? New England hustled their way to a win. I was very, very impressed with the overall scheme. I think Mike Brable did a very good job defensively. Uh, it looked like the old Patriots, which I was very impressed with. They fumbled away the game against Pittsburgh this time. There were no bad fumbles. And Drake May really was solid. Drake May was solid in Buffalo, and they did what they had to do to win the game. And New England marched down the field with 20 seconds left and kicked the field goal. And they took their time to make sure Allen didn't get that chance. And I was very impressed. But Diggs had 10 receptions for 146 yards. Enough said there. It looks like right now the Lions are the best team in the league. The Chargers took a step back. Kansas City lost to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's very good because their defense, they're flying off the ball. And Lawrence is solid. And he had a nice run to beat the Chiefs at the end. Everybody talks about Chris Jones' effort, but it was a bad effort play by Chris Jones. But man, he's been clutch. He's been a champion. He's played hard all his career now. There's a couple this year, a couple of times he hasn't hustled. He's gonna hustle. That's one guy I don't worry about. And how about my guy Jonathan Taylor? I posted an interview of me and him on my site. The way Indianapolis is 4-1 with Daniel Jones balling out. That combination is beautiful. They have a great receiving core. The defense has been solid. So I've been impressed with that. In the NFC, like I said, Detroit's been the best team. They've been the best team in the league. Now Green Bay's going to regret tying Dallas. I'm looking at them at 2-1-1. That's going to hurt them. They're not winning the division, but I mean, as far as seeding and all that, that could be a problem. And Minnesota went 1-1 in London, so that was good. The Rams had two goofy losses. The kick against the Eagles, where they're going to kick the game-winning field goal, gets blocked and returned for a touchdown, and all those goofy, dumb plays and Williams fumbling at the goal line. Williams has been a clutch fumbler. I say that sarcastically because he fumbled when they won the Super Bowl against Tampa, which led to Tampa's comeback and tie the game. And then Stafford was great. And Rams, I still think they're going to win the division. Tampa's going to win their division because Baker Mayfield's been great. And Baker Mayfield, he'll have some jerk moments, but with his conversion, his really leaning into his faith, I'm very impressed with how poised he plays. Not too excitable. He's not going after the other team. He's not being the jerk he used to be. So I see the improvement in him. And then Philadelphia, their luck ran out. Their good fortune ran out, but they're looking to rebound. They're just they're the champs. And they're trying to fill themselves out defensively. Lost a couple of pieces, and they got to try to have a healthy medium between Brown and Barkley. You got to get Barkley going, but you probably got to get Brown and Goddard and Smith going. Then you open up the lanes for Barkley. That's how you win. And Frisco sitting there at 4-1, pretty good. I'm not because they lost so many people. I got to see Mac Jones and Purdy. I'm gonna see how that works out. And Arizona with the goofy way they lost, running back not scoring after a long run, goofy loss against Seattle. I can't use another word besides goofy because the way they just blew the game. And then Washington is with Daniels is a contender. I really believe that. And Dallas is better. So that now that does make the matchups a lot more fun with Dallas better. So Dallas, Washington, Dallas, Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Washington, Philadelphia, Dallas. Those matchups are going to be really cool. And the Giants with Dart, it could be a pain in the neck here and there because it's not about the record with the Giants as much as your young stars can they improve by the end of the year. That's more important than the record because they're not quite there yet, but they look like they're trying to turn the corner. Bad effort against the Saints, but that happens. Now, college football. I understand Penn State's loss to UCLA was bad. Oh, before I get into college, I'm looking at the NFL, the best NFL matchups. The best NFL matchups are the late ones. 49ers Buccaneers, Lions Chiefs Sunday night, Bills Falcons Monday, and Bears Commanders Monday. They're one of the best matchups. Now back to college. I was very impressed with UCLA. That was a great win. I mean, of course, you know, but the way Alabama, Miami, no, Miami, they've done this a couple of times, just smoking teams in the fourth quarter. The other team comes back, and Florida State recovered the onside kick. Whew. But Miami's very good defensively. Beck is good. Texas A&M really. Texas A&M is a playoff team this year. Their coaching change made a huge difference. You can see them improving last year. Now this year they're ready to make a major move. They're the one of the top dogs in the SEC. Texas Tech is really good because they play both sides of the ball. Usually, Big 12 teams don't play defense; they play both sides of the ball. And don't look now, but here comes Oklahoma, and now they're playing a struggling Texas team in the Red River Shootout this week. Yeah, Florida beats Texas, and that swamp was rocking. I got to give Florida credit. I don't think much of their chances this year, but that was a good win. And then finally, Alabama gets revenge. And I'm going to tell you something. Pavia ran his mouth, talking about he's going to blow Alabama out. That was stupid. And Alabama beat them up 30-14. He ends up throwing uh, an interception, not playing that great. He started out good, but Alabama did what they had to do. And I'm not crazy about shorter, mouthier quarterbacks like the Johnny Manziel's. At the time, it was Baker Mayfield until he grew up. And the jerky boy quarterbacks that don't, I wouldn't touch him in the NFL. He's really good, talented too. But I watched him at the end of the game, and Alabama's going to come after you. When you run your mouth like that, of course, they're going to come after you and tease you and mess with you. You got to just walk away. He said, no, I wouldn't change a thing I did. I don't care if we win or lose. If we lose, I'd rather mouth off. That was much more important than winning. Vanderbilt is much improved because Vanderbilt used to be trash, but they're immature. They couldn't handle that major spotlight game because they were under the radar, snuck up on people. And they could have stuck up on Alabama if he kept his trap shut. And they just go into Alabama after having that emotional win in Georgia. But he ran his mouth in Alabama. That was their Super Bowl. So that was big. And what's big this week is USC and Michigan. Michigan ran the ball completely down their throats last year. It was a drive they had to have with a touchdown. I think it's 2 minutes left. They ran the ball, still passed the ball. They ran the ball all the way down to the goal line where they scored. I've never seen that, not even in high school. So USC is probably looking for revenge. I like Michigan still. I don't trust Lincoln Riley. I don't trust Steve Sarkisian. I really don't trust James Franklin. So I don't, nah. But I'll tell you one thing. If I'm worried, if I'm Alabama, Fan, be careful. You're going to Missouri. They're 5-0, and they're not talking. They're quiet. Alabama's had emotional wins. Georgia and Vanderbilt, they're on the road. Noon time. Ooh, boy, this could be real interesting. But I love Ty Simpson, veteran quarterback. But that's a toss-up. Ohio State, Illinois is a good game. I think Ohio State loses before they move on and go to the playoffs. I think they're gonna take a loss, maybe two. They're more of a year away from what they have. I believe they are. Um, the best game of the day is Indiana versus Oregon. Indiana is a strong physical team, but Oregon's pretty tough too. And Mendoza has 16 touchdowns and 1 interception this year with Indiana. But Moore has been solid, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. How good is that? Mendoza versus Moore, that's as good as you can get.